Hi everyone, you are welcome to this afternoon news analysis coming to you from MI News channels. This news is all about the review of what happened last week, the sacking of Governor Umahi and the shocking aggression of the general, appeal to state execution of justice and the mandate and constitutional interpretation of Justice Inyang Ekwo, which also extended to those in Calabar by Justice Taiwo. This is a crucial moment in the politics of Nigeria. We have to look at the politics and see how the transformation may be going and what the governors in questions and the members of the House of Representatives and the Senate will be looking, because they are the people who are amending the constitution of the country. Then they'll go back to Governor Umahi. Governor Umahi is from Ebonyi State, and he came to office through the mandate of People's Democratic Party, and later started romancing with the APC, the All Progressive People's Congress. The basic information is that Umahi began his journey as Ebonyi State Executive Governor with PDP. He did not do so at the beginning with the APC. However, the contested problem is that Nigerian politicians incorporated problems of political cross-carpeting into presidential system of government, although not enshrined in Nigerian constitution. Lack of organized system of governance gave political adventurers opportunity to be jumping from one party to the other for their personal gains. Party controls are carried out, in fact, by the military dictators in Nigeria. The two political parties, that the major two political parties today, are the PDP and the APC. PDP at its formation was controlled by ex-military dictator Chief General Olusegun Obasanjo, who emerged as the first civilian president after years of military hegemony in Nigeria. Through loyalty to Chief Obasanjo, many politicians became governors, members of House of Representatives, senators, and also members of various houses of assembly. However, APC is a congregation of minority political parties that could not win any elections alone. To fight PDP of non-military boy that emerged after Chief Obasanjo left the scene. He was a class teacher, and the military tacticians from the minority parties ganged themselves up together and formulated one of the biggest threats they used in getting the presidency of Goodluck Jonathan into oblivion. They galvanized themselves and got the support of both home and abroad these military tacticians, using Boko Haram as a yardstick. Then this led to APC winning the election in the north and PDP in the south. Although there was a series of court cases, and later in the second term of the office of the President Buhari, many started jumping, manipulations started going on. That is Nigerian system. The APC won the election at the second term when Jonathan left the scene. Then leaving the scene created a big problem again, because most of Nigerian Association of Food Politicians are always ready to be wooed to one party party or the other, where they see that the money will be coming out. They don't build parties. They like to jump the bell and they enjoy themselves wherever it is ready. So APC weekend convention stands to be an evidence of what is happening in Nigerian political scene today. Now, it has come to the notice of all that Nigeria creates problems. They create problems, especially the politicians. When they fail to benefit from where they are or take control, they migrate like the bees or the birds. They migrate so quickly. But however, the two symbolic problems identified in this very issue of migration is the political harlotry and the political prostitution. Nigerian politicians are experts in the political harlotry and the prostitution. It has been noted for years that this group of politicians in the country have never changed, either through their parents or through inheritance or through the way they were trained by the military boys who, when they were in power. You know, Nigerian politicians have a history of defection, disobedient to the party that elected them into office. But today, the most important question is, does Nigerian politicians transform themselves for self-branded group whose benefits are personal embezzlement of public fund and fostering, or are they real in their pursuit to political offices? However, years of political failures had shown that Nigerian lawyers, politicians, economists, sociologists, anthropologists, and technocrats could not develop any political hypothesis that can graduate to acceptable, translational, practicable, or workable political system. They are only depending on copying constitutions from abroad, copying every act and law from abroad, which they cannot in themselves practice, that are not compatible to the life of Nigerian political culture. However, the Western countries or governments practice those laws, constitutions, and implement them to the best of their knowledge and the best interest of their people. In Nigeria, however, each Constituent Assembly or Constitutional Amendment Committee always failed to address crucial issues that bastardize Nigerian political structure. Nigerian politicians are known of using committee membership or assembly to fashion out political arrangement for themselves or whatever they want to do in future. That is what they use the committee assembly or the constituent assembly to do. They fail to address issues of public interest, the things that bother the public. They confuse themselves with the presidential system and the parliamentary system. They are the problems. The politicians are the problems. In the most recent case of Governor Umahi, it has been established that actually the executive, the three arms of the government, we have the executive, the legislative, and the judiciary, that the executives do not understand their role in the public domain. Many state executives believe, and the winner takes it all. They want to control the legislator, they want to control the judiciary, and they themselves control themselves as the executive. That is the problem. This confusion, when constitutional issues arises, then there is problem. Where which arm of government takes control? To the executives themselves, they believe they will take control of everything as long as they are the executive. The Nigerian politicians or governors see themselves as military governors, especially now that Baba Goslow is in power. Baba Goslow has failed to honor every court order and everything concerning the judiciary. He doesn't give them the respect. He takes control of the security agencies under normal circumstances. Some security part of security agencies should work with the judiciary, because they are the people who get cases or transfer cases to the judiciary. But however, they have made it to be one-man show. It is the judiciary. Unfortunately, Nigerians today practice militocracy. That is why both Nigerian executives, President Buhari himself, the governors see themselves as military governors. They do not obey civilian judicial court orders with their cabinet and the security agent, except it is organized by their organobilito department controlled by the military tribunal of APC. This is the problem. So it is this analogy that feared or fled Governor Umahi against judicial judgment of Justice Inyang, Ekwo of Federal High Court. Power of judicial arm of government cannot overemphasized. They are the watchdogs of the nation, the watchdogs of the executive, the watchdog of the legislators. This is their duty. You make their laws, you bring it to them to interpret, you commit your crimes, you come to them to judge you. Therefore, the interpretation of the Constitution also rests in their hand. That is why we believe in this analysis that the rule of law has to be honored, and that the judiciary should be given the appropriate honor they deserve, and give them the opportunity to interpret the Constitution as it is best known to them, but not in just like being controlled under a military tribunal to say what favors the government, but say what favors the Constitution, the people, and the government in place. Like other countries practicing real democracy, whose job is to look at Constitution, interpretation, and the legal implications by any act of misuse. That is what the Constitutional Court does in developed countries. And in Nigerian system, it has been shown with what is happening today that the judiciary is not being respected. Many court orders have been given. The executives do not obey court order, probably because they believe that the military system is still in power, and it will not at any point in time obey the civilian court orders. That is what is happening from the analysis being carried out today. Should political defection be considered, deliberated, and be included in Nigerian Constitution to avoid cross-carpeting, to avoid prostitution, avoid harlotry within the political parties? Many of today's Nigerian politicians are products and beneficiary of corruption embedded in military political system or corruption syndicate, who were either errand boys or girlfriend organizers for the senior military officers who also dominate the political scene today in Nigeria. What is the role of Imec? What defense should Imec present, or is Imec to obey court orders or act as protective military agents? People say politicians learned from military corruption system. Yes, military corrupt system was embedded into Nigerian leadership. It has been noted, and so long as the politics of today is purely dominated by the ex-military head of states, there is no way there won't be political confusion of obedience to the rule of law. After all, the military system disrupted the constitution of Nigerian state, abrogated human rights and everything. And today, the same people who did it are still in control. That is why there is confusion. Corruption has a political reward. Corruption has political reward or have political reward in Nigeria. This has led to emergency of some corrupt political class today, or some who inherited political process and the popularity of their parents. Justice Ekwo and the Taiwo judgment, their judgment at the Federal High Court is symbolic in the sense that it is now going to help the committee members to either incorporate cross-carpeting as evil or cross-carpeting as part of political system in the country. Then, if you are moving from one party to the other, is it possible you lose your mandate, or you maintain your mandate alone and still be the executive or member of House of Representatives or Senate or House of Assembly? These are the issues that can be clarified through the constitutional amendment. However, there would be a time when these issues will burst to the level that it becomes a bigger problem. But if it is properly dealt with, the manipulative practices in politics of today will be curbed. Another question is it now coming from Justice Ekwo and the Taiwo, or will this issue of judgment be killed? That means the judgment of these two justices over defection, will it be killed by the militocratic system of government, which carries the Imec on its back? Will it be thrown to symmetry, or will it be appropriately implemented to ensure that the democracy they are yearning for, the rule of law they are yearning for, will make a good stride within the political class and within the political environment? That is the issue. In this situation, ending the analysis, there is a particular issue of a particular problem sorry, that need to be resolved. That means, should Nigerian Imec be a game changer, or will it be part and parcel of a military judicial system that satisfies the yearnings of the executives? That is the question. But if you think that INEC is APC or APC is INEC in this present dispensation, that they will want to hold water before they can give the mandate back to those who deserve it, that is a question, or questions we need to reflect on. Again, if you like this argument to be included as part and parcel of constitutional amendment to curtail 419 and self-governing meandering politicians, then leave your comments. If you like what we have done, give us a thumb, subscribe to this channel. For more information, wait for the next news edition. Thanks for listening. God bless you.